All eyes on Doge. Big run up. To the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up. To the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.69. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Friday. How's everybody doing? I'm doing good. Friday afternoon, heading into the weekend. I do have a beverage. Yes, another Modelo here. Enjoying on a Friday afternoon. Did you guys miss me? Did you miss me? I had fun yesterday. We had a good time. So, we had a good time. And that was a nice event that we went to. And I mean, I got all spiffed up and, did a little shaving and, had to look good, but it was nice. So life goes on. And here we are, another day. And I got a lot of stuff lined up to cover because, of course, right, I miss a day and we got to talk about stuff. We got to talk about stuff that is coming for crypto, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, because the bears are going to lose. The bears are going to lose. They're just going to keep hitting their heads on what's happening. And Kriss and you guys are going to win. We're all going to win. As long as you're not a bear. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Look, up and down, right? We had this news this morning about the labor, right? Oh, unemployment is so bad, right? And look what happens, right? Dogecoin was enjoying itself up over 22 cents and drops all the way down to my sloping support line. Look at that. Hit it perfect. Absolutely hit it perfect. I can't make this stuff up, right? That's not 17 cents. That's not 17 cents or 16 cents or 13 cents or whatever crazy, stupid numbers people keep saying Doge is going to drop to. No, not. This is what we hit and we go back up. Bitcoin drops down to 110.2, not 108, not 94, right? Got to close that CME gap, right? No, not happening. So, yeah, to the chat. Yes, I did notice that. Names are in the chat again, not the ats. So I don't know who you guys are now because I was just getting used to the ats. And now it's the names again. It's just like, oh, here we go again. Stupid YouTube. Anyway, here we are. Let me get into this. Bitcoin falls 2% despite rising odds of Fed easing after a weak U.S. jobs report. So it was really the weak U.S. jobs report, right? Caused Bitcoin to do this dip, these two big red candles, right? So the whole market followed Bitcoin. That's how markets work, right? It has nothing to do with the individual asset, right? It just follows Bitcoin. It's a market thing. And then it kind of futzed around down here until this afternoon. And finally, logical traders come back in and say, okay, that's good enough. Let's buy this up. And price starts coming back up. But 108,000 Bitcoin by the weekend, someone is saying, look, historically, Bitcoin has reacted positively to signs of lower interest rates because looser policy reduces pressure on risk assets and supports liquidity inflows. And you're like, all right, that sounds good, right? That sounds good. So this could help Bitcoin gain momentum and job data dovish, some could say. Rate cut coming. However, unemployment, not good, right? And you start like, yeah, unemployment, not good, right? I mean, there's a lot of jobs out there, but there's still a lot of unemployment. And especially with this 16 to 24 age, 10.5%, 16 to 24. And do you know why? Because this age range, these kids are too privileged, right? And they don't want to work the messy, ugly jobs. I don't want to do that, right? They would rather take unemployment than go do a job that requires actual work. And I know that because I have two sons that are exactly that age, that are in that age group. So I know them very well. Exactly, Danny. Exactly. That's what they are. It's just like, I don't want to do that. There are jobs out there. There's plenty of jobs out there. But a lot of them, you got to work. And if you see the same ones coming up on Indeed, like every 2 or 3 months, right? The same job shows up again. That's because they hired someone and they work it for a while and then end up quitting because it's too hard. That's what we've got. That's what we have today, guys. It is absolutely insane. So while the labor market is weakening, this being the slowest pace of job creation since late 2021, the Fed may still be cautious about cutting rates if inflation remains above the target. So now we got to wait for inflation numbers again. And it's just like, just cut the damn rates, right? So we go to the FedWatch tool and we go, whoa, wait a second. This looks different than earlier in the week. It is now, according to the CME group, a 100% certainty that rates are going to be cut. 100%. And in fact, not only 100%, but it's 90%. It'll be a 25 basis point rate cut and a 10% chance that there's a 50 basis point rate cut. So 90 plus 10 equals 100. That's 100% chance of rate cut in less than 2 weeks. So that looks pretty good. A lot of people waiting for this to happen. Now, if it indeed does do the rate cut, but Chappelle ends up saying, don't expect any more, right? And throws the hawkish words on top of it, then the markets will dump. So the markets will dump. But there's a lot of other things to talk about too. The points mean just percentage, Martin. So right now, if it is 4.5%, right? 25 basis point takes it from 4.5 to 4.25, 4.5 to 4.25 on the high end. If it's a 50 basis point rate cut, it goes from 4.5 down to 4, which is right there, 4. It says 3.75 to 4 because there's always a 0.25 range that they have on the interest rates. That's all that is. So that is bullish, right? That's bullish. Now, a rate cut doesn't always necessarily mean prices will go up, but this time I believe it will because we've been waiting so long for it. It's finally going to happen. So a weak U.S. jobs report could push Bitcoin and crypto towards a Fed-fueled bull run. A Fed-fueled bull run. Yes, Bitcoin's price elasticity to monetary easing with ETF inflows in Bitcoin now. So it's actually having a little outflows on ETH and inflows on Bitcoin, which tells you like the ETFs aren't necessarily a sign of where things are going. It's more of the immediate with some ETH profit taking, right? ETH goes to an all-time high. There's profit taking. Price comes down a bit. And then the ETF guys are going, oh, price is going down. I need to sell. It's like, ugh. So the August non-farm payroll report showed only 22,000 new jobs, way below the 75,000 the economists expected. Unemployment ticked up to 4.3%, the highest since late 2021. So that's when we saw the dip in the market, but the market is now coming back. What does this mean? Hey, we have institutions continuing to buy Bitcoin as a treasury strategy. And there are some now saying, oh, what does this mean for the 4-year cycles? So it means the 4-year cycles may no longer be 4-year cycles and Bitcoin will just keep going up. I am not in that category, but we'll save that talk for another time. We'll cover that in more detail at another time. For now, we've got gold hitting a new all-time high. Gold, $3,600 an ounce for gold, hitting a new all-time high. Our friend Peter Schiff is like all happy, but here's what happens. Bitcoin follows gold. It has in its history again and again and again followed gold. If gold is going higher, that means Bitcoin is also going to go higher. It just always does. It always does. So I feel pretty confident about that. Bitcoin is mirroring some safe haven behavior, isn't a lockstep with gold right now, but gold's clean breakout contrasts with Bitcoin's present sideways grind. But that has a habit of turning around and Bitcoin then going up. While ETH lost $500 million over the last 4 days, we'll see what today's turnaround was. Maybe there was some buying back up on the ETH ETF, but we'll see. But we'll see about that. What does this mean for Doge? Well, this morning I did a video on Dogecoin ETFs. So if you're interested in knowing what's happening with Dogecoin ETFs, I invite you to watch my video from this morning. Another good one. But Penny Bags is like, sums it up pretty well. The Doge ETF, that's DOJE, Doge, is about to launch, we believe, next week. Maybe. Not just a meme anymore. Rex shares and Osprey funds, bringing Doge to the ETF party. And we'll see whether that does get approved. There's a lot of discussion about this going on right now. And as I said in my video this morning, well, the Rex Osprey thing, they did a Solana ETF that is out there trading and nobody's talking about it because they just don't have the weight of a BlackRock or even a Grayscale or Bitwise. It's like there are just fund managers who don't have access to Rex Osprey funds. So although the news will be good, everyone will be saying, well, where can I get that? And it's like, yeah, where do you get that? That's going to be the hard part. So we'll watch that. We'll see what happens there with Doge. But right now, there's a 94% chance of Dogecoin ETF approval, according to Polymarket, up to 94% now. So the optimism is there for Dogecoin ETF. And in this morning's video, I talked about how that legitimizes Dogecoin in the eyes of many investors. Can you believe that? Dogecoin is a legitimate investment asset. Dogecoin? We're going places, I tell you. We're going places. So, and then we've got this. We have Thumbs Up, which is Don Jr., Don Jr., they're projecting $103 million in annual Dogecoin mining revenue. Over $100 million in annual revenue through Dogecoin mining is what Thumbs Up is projecting. So that's pretty interesting. It's like, because they're merging with Doge Hash Technologies, essentially buying them. That's not really a merger, right? That's a buyout. I've been in those before. They talk about, oh yeah, we're just merging and we're all going to be happy working together. No, it's a buyout. So Doge Hash Technologies already controls a fleet of Dogecoin mining rigs. If the shareholders approve, they will. It will happen. The combined company will adopt a new name, Doge Hash Technologies Holdings, and trade under the ticker XDOG. XDOG. Isn't that a cool name? XDOG. So there's a $50 million sale that gives capital for expansion. And that's what the mining companies love. They love that. Your miner is up and running smoothly. Thank you, DW. I've got news on mine coming in just a minute. Thumbs Up has lined up 2,500 Bitmain Antminers and ordered 1,000 more. They're going all in on like the L9s, right, for Dogecoin. Basically, how they get to 100 million is they say at a price of 21 cents, the rigs will generate nearly $23 million a year. If Dogecoin goes to $1, then that fleet would produce over $100 million annually. So they're taking the current $23 million projection and they're saying, well, that's at Doge at the current price. But if Doge goes to $1, now it's all of a sudden 100 million. Oh, I get it now. So why Dogecoin, right? Why would you want to mine Dogecoin and not Bitcoin? And you know what I've said about this, right? I've continually said this. There's all that hash power going into Bitcoin, very competitive for those Bitcoin blocks, right? Not as competitive for Doge, but the hash rate is increasing. And it is actually at a new all-time high for Doge. It's just Doge gives out rewards every minute as opposed to every 10 minutes. Hey, Yawning. I've got mine right here. How are you doing? Cheers. Cheers to you. So here's what Doge Hash Technology says. They argue that the economics speak for themselves. Public miner Bitmining reported late last year that Dogecoin mining delivered almost triple the profitability of Bitcoin mining. Get this. Dogecoin, and this is a mining company that has both Dogecoin rigs and Bitcoin rigs going at the same time. This is the first time that I've actually heard this. Dogecoin mining delivered almost triple the profitability of Bitcoin mining, thanks in part to lower costs and stronger margins. That advantage is attracting rivals. KuCoin is pledging to capture 10% of Dogecoin's total mining capability. Yes, KuCoin, we covered this news the other day, that they are going to be setting up a way for KuCoin members to invest in cloud mining, where on the back end, they're just going to take your money, right? They're going to take your money and they're going to put it into their, whoever they're partnered with to do the actual mining of Dogecoin. So then you'll be able to get yield, right? How they're going to do that, I don't know yet. But Dogecoin mining is already more profitable than Bitcoin mining. So, what can we do about that? Well, there is this miner called a DG Home 1 from ElphaPex. My miner is now ordered, everybody. My miner is now ordered. DW already has his, DW in the chat, and he says it is running great. I cannot wait to get mine. When I get mine, I will do an unboxing video. I will do a setup video. I'll show you what I'm doing with it. And we will check in over a series of seeing what the results are. So I will be showing that on what I'm getting as results of this home miner. I'm not doing the big DG1 or the DG2 is going to come out at the end of this year or beginning of next year. Those are more like ant miners that are just not for home use, right? Those are for professional use. But I wanted to do something at home, and so I chose this. If you are interested in getting your own home miner, I do still have a promo probably for the next week or two. And ElphaPex has extended its sale on this DG Home 1 miner. And I am going to also be getting one of these. And with my code, you get an additional $200 off their already low on sale price, which means $900. $900 to get this. So I have a link, Jay. It is in the description below. Just look down in the description there and you will see. You will see the link there that takes you directly to this page right here, which is the DG Home 1. And so I will be merge mining Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Bells because it's script mining. I'm going to be merge mining. DW is getting 10 to 11 Doge a day. Awesome. So we will work on that and see what KrissPax gets too. Along with the Litecoin, the Bells, and there's a few other smaller script mining coins you'll be getting too. Yeah, plus a little Litecoin. Exactly. That's what we're going to be doing. Now, this isn't the same as buying a big L9 ant miner, right? It's going to have more power, right? It's going to mine better. However, it takes up a huge amount of electricity. Plus, you can't run it at home. You can't run it at home. So yeah, the Volk Miner D1 MB, you need to have a special electrical plug though. That's my understanding on that one. You can't just plug it into a normal power outlet like you can the DG Home 1. So, yep. Did I buy Powerball? Yes, I did. I want a chance to win Powerball, of course. just for the fun of it. You got to be in the game, right? Got to be in the game. All right. So that's what we have. If you want to ask questions about mining, be glad to answer them. I don't have my miner yet, but it is now ordered. And we will be showing the whole process here on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed, you got your notifications on, all of that, because I'm going to show you how it all works at home, right? Now, there are third parties who will host an Antminer L9. Right now, they're like $7,000 or $8,000, about $8,000 for an L9. But you got to pay someone else to set it up for you. And then everything that you mine, they take a little slice of. They take a little slice of it because they are hosting your miner. And I'm like, no. I want to do it at home. I want the miner here. This is why I chose this one. And so I just had to wait until September till I could get it. So here we are. We're in September now. I'm getting it. So what's going on? 4-year cycles, right? So again, we're going to have a whole nother discussion on 4-year cycles for Bitcoin and crypto. Here's someone who just came out today and said that Bitcoin's going to go down to 50K sometime in 2026. Who knows, right? At this point, who knows? So there are arguments each way between whether there's going to be extended cycle, super cycle versus a 4-year cycle that will be a bear market next year. So we will talk more about that going forward. Just wanted to let you know that it's not all bull, 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 bull. There is bear, but bear not today, not tomorrow, not like Khan, who thinks it's happening like next week, but next year. So next year. So we'll talk more about that. And then you've got this, and I was hoping Charlotte was here because I want to find out what's going on in UK. What is going on? Because there's this news that the UK government is going to enforce a £3,000 daily bank withdrawal limit. The sweeping change will affect millions of customers, from pensioners to small business owners. The new policy, part of the government's financial security initiative, aims to combat fraud, curb money laundering, and encourage digital transactions. But £3,000 daily bank withdrawal limit for all individual accounts, meaning the bank will not let you have access to all of your money. And you wonder why I want to be free of the banks, right? You'll wonder why I want to be free of the banks, because I don't want this to happen to me here in the United States. It looks like it's happening in the UK. They say, right, that this is part of their security initiative to combat fraud. But it's like, if you've done all your stuff, you've got KYC or whatever the banks need, right? This is just the start. It's just the start. That's why we crypto. And that's also why we crypto, not just having money on exchanges, because you know what? They could probably get their grubby little paws into the exchanges to limit what you can do there, which is why we do self-custody with our own hardware wallets. And again, I would let you guys know when there was going to be a sale again over at Ledger for the hardware wallets, and this is the one that I use right here, which is the cheapest one, the Nano S Plus. And guess what, guys? Guess what? The Nano S Plus is on sale for $20 off right now, not $79. It's now $59. Plus, they're going to give you a rebate of $10 in Bitcoin. That's right, $10 in Bitcoin on top of already $20 off their regular price. This is why we need to get rid of the banks so they're not throttling our accounts, limiting our access to our own money. I've bought my house. My house is mortgage free. I don't have a bank on any documents regarding my house. And my final step is going to be getting completely rid of a bank in my life. That is what is coming. That's what's coming. And I have a number of different wallets that I use. Again, the MyDoge wallet is my soft wallet that's on my phone, but I also use Ledger. I use Exodus. I've tried out the Robinhood wallet. The Robinhood wallet is just not a fan. There was a recent update, and then I logged into the Robinhood wallet, and guess what? It forgot my wallet. It's making me create a new one. And I'm like, no. Where's my wallet here? So guess what I had to do? I had to go find my seed phrase. And instead of creating a new wallet, I had to import my existing one back onto the platform that I originally created it on. Stupid Robinhood. But it's a good thing. I safely stored my seed phrase. So then I was able to recreate my wallet there on that Robinhood wallet app. And all my funds are still there. It's just Matic. It's just Powell tokens that were there, but it was still mine. It was my money. So I don't like the Robinhood wallet. That was not a good thing. I've never had a problem with Ledger. Haven't had a problem with Exodus. Haven't had a problem with MyDoge. So that's what I will continue to use for my crypto holdings. That's it. If you like Trezor, awesome. I've never tried a Trezor. I talked to the guys at the Bitcoin conference. They were going to send me one, but then I had to talk to this guy and that guy, and they were going to, and they never contacted me. I gave them my information and they never contacted me. So I'm like, screw you. I'm good with Ledger. Ledger works great. Just don't do the recover. Don't sign up for that. It's a monthly thing. You don't need it. But I highly encourage, don't hold all your crypto on exchanges. And don't leave a bunch of money in the bank. Because that's scary. That is scary. £3,000 daily limit on bank withdrawals. And that's your money sitting there. That's your money. Olivec, you got a DG Home 1 ordered. Awesome. Would love to see your stats as well when you get it up and running. So we'll see. We'll compare how we're all doing with our miners. That'll be awesome. That will be awesome. And cheers. Thanks for the super chat. How much Dogecoin can a nano ledger hold? Infinite. Billions. It's not the quantity that's the problem. It's how many different coins can you put on there? Because it's basically a little app is all it is that points to where on the blockchain your Dogecoin is held. So I don't think there's a limit on the number of coins. It's of individual coins. I think it's more a limit of how many different coins you can hold on here, which I don't have a lot of different coins on here. So I've had no problem. I'll put it that way. I wonder if that UK policy is meant to push towards a digital currency. Yes, that's exactly what it's for. That's exactly what it's for. And what is that digital currency actually going to be? Most likely, it will be a CBDC of some type. That's what the EU is pushing for. I wouldn't be surprised if the UK does it as well. They actually have questioned many people already who wanted to withdraw, and the bank has refused withdrawals. Wow. Yeah. Do you want to live that life? Do you want to live that life? Man, it's my money and I need it now. Exactly. Exactly. The banks are the middlemen. And they don't hold the cash. They don't hold the cash. That's the thing. The bank takes your money and they lend it out. They make money off your money. They don't have it sitting there in a big vault. That's not how the banks work. They take your money and they use your money to make money off of you. That's what the banks do. $877 cash now. Yep, fractional reserve banking. They do not have the money. Nigel Farage visited the US recently to ask them to put pressure on the current tyrannical UK government. Yeah, I believe that. They're expecting massive civil unrest and want to chain you to your bank account. If that happens in the UK, it's a moment away from the US. I would hope not. But I mean, the US is trying to do things regulatory wise, right? For this path to stablecoins that we've talked about, right? And the stablecoin thing, which uses the dollar, right, is the backup, right? It's backed 1-to-1, stablecoin to the dollar. That helps solidify the dollar. That's what the country wants. They don't want Bitcoin. They don't want Doge. They don't want ETH. They don't want that stuff. That's cryptocurrency. US government doesn't want that. They want the stable coin, which is the digital currency backed by the US dollar. Which, of course, is going to inflate over time. You're going to lose your buying power if you're sitting there with the stable coin. You're going to lose the value if you have all your funds sitting in stable coins. 3 out of 4 years. Right. During the bear market, being in a stable coin with a little yield is going to be the thing to do. And that's going to be my approach in 2026. And we'll see how that works out. But we'll talk about that another day in a lot more detail, because that's just my theory. That's my theory. It's like the pyramid scheme. Yeah, I know, right? Right. They arrest us for doing pyramid schemes, but they can do it themselves. Exactly. Doge will rip hard. We'll see, Manel. It certainly does have the ability to do it, and we're certainly seeing a nice, good Friday afternoon of trading coming back up. Yep. UK is finished. That's why I left. Everyone moving to Dubai. Those that can afford it are getting out. Yes. But now you can't take your cash out. If you're sitting on, like hundreds of thousands of pounds in your bank account, you can't withdraw it. You can't withdraw it. So I don't know how they're going to get around that. You bought a big bunch on the dip. KrissPax versus Ben Cowan. Now, I noticed today with Ben Cowan, he's changed his tune a little bit. If you remember, he initially said Bitcoin dominance was going to go to 70%. And then he changed it to 66. Let me show you. He's changing his target. He's changing his target. Kind of interesting. So 66 is where Bitcoin dominance went to here near the end of June. That was the peak, 66%. So after Bitcoin dominance fell here in July, when altcoins were going crazy, ETH was going crazy, but then when Bitcoin dominance started to come back up, Ben Cowan was talking about 70% Bitcoin dominance. So that was around early August. Then, more recently, after this dip in August and Bitcoin dominance started coming back up, he changed it to 66. Today, he said over 60. He changed it. He said today he said over 60. So he's no longer saying 66. Now he's saying over 60. Now over 60, yeah, that's about from here, that's about 2%, 2.25%. So he's lowering his target, which is okay. He can change his mind, right? We all do that. But I'm just saying, for those who follow him, watch what he continues to say and how he changes his tune. I am keyed in on that because I didn't believe 70 and I didn't believe we would go back to 66. Will we touch 60% again? We could. It's not that far away. We could do that. But not 66, like he was saying before. And that's what I was saying. That was different from what he was saying. But overall, it's going to go down lower. And that's still my tune on that. But now we've got Dogecoin, 21.88. So we're making a run here back up to 22 cents right now. We'll see how that goes. Some city councils in the UK threatened the government that they would stop paying taxes until the UK government goes back to actually serving the people. Well, I don't know how that all is going to play out with the migrants and stuff. That's just a nasty. So they're going to block access to people's bank accounts so they can't protest. Oh, man. Happy Friday, Garmani. Now close to the time to sell crypto for this cycle, so I start to transfer from Ledger into a platform to get ready for selling. Sure. To be ready, it doesn't take that long, depending on what platform. Some platforms have limits, right? How much you can transfer at any one time. Like if you're sitting on a crap ton of Doge, you can't move it all to Robinhood, for instance, all in one go, right? You got to do it in pieces. But yes, that's what you do for the crypto that you want to be taking profits on. Yes. At some point in time here, this fall, you want to start moving that to an exchange. So you're ready. But that you're not going to sell, just keep it on your hardware wallet. Any more dips? There's always dips, Nick. But you see what happened, right? The dip yesterday came down a little lower than my line. The dip today hit the line and came up, so it's still higher lows. Again, the big dip was September 1st, right? That was right there. 20.5 right there. That was the dip. 20.5. And since then, we've been posting higher lows on the dips. Higher lows on the dips. That's what we're seeing. And as we glide into the weekend here, we're doing so on a Friday afternoon with the markets recovering from the Bitcoin dip that happened following the US jobs report, which I told you guys the other day that was going to be volatile, right? I said volatility on Friday, right? Well, we actually didn't dip as much because we were doing all this good trading overnight leading up to that. If we were just going sideways leading into that jobs report, then we would have dipped lower, but we didn't. So the dip was not as severe. Yeah, well, Mr. T, we don't know. We don't know when the biggest move is going to be, or even if there's going to be one for sure. So we will be talking about profit-taking strategies. For me, it's not an all or nothing thing. Be selling 10%, 15% at a time on those big green candles when they come. There will be some green candles, but you don't know whether that's the last big green candle or not, or whether it's going to go higher. So my strategy is to take it in chunks. So we will be talking about that. And that's why you have CryptoCon. I took every penny out, or shilling or whatever, right, out a few years ago. Yep. And I'm getting close to that. The only money I have in my bank account is, it's kind of the rotation. I have my direct deposit going from my job into my bank account. And then that goes to pay my monthly bills. And the rest gets diverted either into my tax fund or into crypto. So it's just, I'm just rotating money in the bank account. It's just rotating. Next year will be a different story because I won't have that tax liability anymore. And I don't pay a mortgage. It'd be cool if I could just take the paycheck in digital currencies, but I don't think my employer is going to go there. So I'll still need the bank for that. Everyone in the UK just needs to buy Dogecoin. Yes, Ryan. And that's why I was hoping Charlotte was here for this conversation, because she would agree with that 100%. Right? The queen of Doge agrees with you, Ryan. And yep, it's a roller coaster ride. That's for sure, Melvin. The KrissPax index, KPI. I like that, Nick. I like that. Daniel bought some on the dip. Yeah, moving the goalposts. You just have to follow him enough, and you see what he's saying. He just changes the language just a little bit. He still thinks Bitcoin dominance is going up later in September into October. But now it's just like into the 60s. So a little bit different. He's certain it's moving higher, right? But he's moved the goalposts on how high. Because a few weeks ago, he was talking like a big move for Bitcoin dominance. And now it's not so big. We try and keep it real here, Mr. T. We try and keep it real. And that's why I think this ETF news on Rex Osprey is not a big a deal as others on X are making it out to be, because it's Rex Osprey. Most fund managers do not have access to Rex Osprey funds. So it's not going to be as big a deal as what's going to come in October for Grayscale, Bitwise, because they're big. Rex Osprey's not big. Keeping it real. I mean, it'll be fun, right? Hey, Dogecoin ETF, it's trading. And everybody's like, who, what, where, how do I get this? Where, how? That's what it's going to be. So I'm just letting you know beforehand. I'm embarrassed of my generation's work ethic. Yeah, it's good that you are work hard, play hard, because a lot of young people aren't. That's for sure. What does the heat map look like? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Haven't even looked at it today. Oh, we have to talk about the pump token too. There's another short that just got wiped out on pump token. Also, a Doge short just got taken out. Look at that. Right when we look at it, it's like Doge and pump. Well, Bitcoin just with that dump this morning took out a huge chunk of new leverage. But all these shorts are sitting up here on 114. Some pretty tasty shorts up there. 114 for Bitcoin. Oh, here's a brand new one, a big one. $120 million at 111.8. Look at that. Let's go get that, guys. Come on. 111.8. What are they thinking? Liquidate. Liquidate. Dogecoin just took out a big short here at 21.8. Look at that. Who's shorting Dogecoin? Pay the price. Pay the price. There's some nice big ones up here at 22.4. Got to get over 22, stay over 22, and get up to a 22.4 to take out $4 million in shorts on Doge. Woo! Let's go! Thanks, RR, for asking. Reminder on the heat map. ENA, Jupe, Arrow, and Pump Token, which I am invested in. So I will pump the pump. Biggest gainer of the day, Pump Token. I told you guys. No, I don't say that. That's not what I say, but I told you guys when I bought right there. I told you guys, and since I bought that right there, that is up 93%. 93% in 1 month. Where else are you going to get a 93% return in 1 month? Right there. Stupid pump token. But for me, this was an investment to make money on. 93% return. Let's go. And this, again, was where I put my Trump token money. Yes, I sold the Trump token, and then I bought Pump with it. Let's go. Did Doge hit 22? It's right there. 21.99, I see. Right there. 22 is acting as resistance right now. The market has been waiting too long for rate cuts. The market is anxious. It will rip. That's what I said. I agree completely. We were waiting so long for this that forget what Powell says. Just by having the rate cut, the market's going to rip. Yeah, weekend projections right now. I'm very curious how this Friday pump here, Friday afternoon, whether we're going to go above where we were this morning. If we can get over 22.1, let's say, which is the peak about where we were this morning, then I feel better about the weekend. We need to get above that, and I'll feel better. But if we stay below, let's say 22 cents, then we're just going to chop around. And Khan says we need to get up to 25 to be a bull, which is true. Otherwise, it's just chop. I agree with that. Yeah, I don't know enough about UK politics, but this thing with the banks is very worrisome. Chunks. That's right. Chunks. Sunshine. Chunks. Chunks at a time. It's not an all or nothing deal because you don't know when the top is going to be. When you see a big green candle, you don't know if there's going to be another big green candle after it or not. Yeah, Merchik, the trend. But we will be watching that into the fall. Have I bought Steak and Shake with Bitcoin? No, I have not. I think it'll be an interesting experiment to try it, though, at the local Steak and Shake. But I want Bitcoin to go back up in price first before I do it. I want to do it back up at like 124, 125. And then go buy a burger, the Bitcoin burger at Steak and Shake. And I'll do that. I think that'll be fun to do. But I want to have a little more buying power with my Bitcoin before I do that. But I'd like to. And I'll film it. I think it'll be awesome to film that. Now, if only we could do that with Doge. Hey, 22 cents. There we go. 22. Come on. Come on, little doggy. Higher, higher. Let's go. Did everybody give a like? No. Did everybody subscribe? No. Come on. Am I still active buying and holding stocks? Just a little bit. Most of my stock is all in my 401k plan. Actively with stocks, I just have my Megal swing trade and some Apple stock. And that's it. I think that's all I have. I think I still have one share left of something that Webull gave me. I think it was Levi Strauss, and I just keep that one share. It was free on Webull, and so I just keep it for Levi's, American company. Cool. Keep one share of that. And I have a couple other little things, like a little Gevo left and some Coinbase stock. And that's it. It's all gone into crypto. Now, next year might be different. We'll see how the stock market does. Yes, Charlotte has been summoned to answer for your country's crimes, and she's not here. Not here. Yeah, Ben's wording does become a little more iffy lately, but I mean, he still has more of a conviction than just about anybody else. So you could not believe how easy it was to set up the miner, and the timing is good just before the pump. Exactly my point too. Exactly. Which mining pool are you using, DW? That's my question to you. Which mining pool? When it dips to 25, you got more at 28, 20.8. Yeah, back on September 1st. Nice. What chance do I give the ETFs getting approved before October 17th? 99%. I am 99% there via BTC. That's the one I was looking at, TW. Same thing, via BTC. Thank you. The pinger is on, meaning a short just got wiped out. Oh, yeah. Wiping out the shorts. Bitcoin, $334,000 short. Ha! Gotcha. Yeah, job reports today. Yeah, PPIs next week. I figured that out too. Weekends are good for Doge. Yeah, but if Bitcoin decides to do a big dump, like we saw when a whale sold the other week, all of crypto is going to dump with it. You sold a Lucid, took the L. You know, Yeely, I'm still a fan of Bonk, and Bonk is still down relative to Doge. And if there's a big run, I think Bonk could outperform Doge on the way up. Again, just if I was buying more now, I would have a little exposure to that. Again, that's the Solana meme, Bonk. I'd have a little exposure to that. I would have some exposure to ETH. Again, ETH has come down from its all-time high. So I like that. And of course, Dogecoin. Those would be the three I would pick right now. It would not be Bitcoin. It would be ETH, Doge, and Bonk would be the three I would buy. Mm-hmm. Most millennials work hard. It's those dang Zoomers with their TikToks and skibby-dibbies. Yeah. Some influencers saying we might hit $7 to $10 trillion. Yeah, Jordan Cameron. Jordan's all over that. $10 trillion crypto market cap. I know. Rodrigo, I can't believe Jordan's like $10 trillion. Exactly. Where does the money come from for that? And I'm like, wow. Ross, I think Pepe is still good. I just think you're not going to get more than a 2x from here on Pepe, where you could get 3x or more on Bonk and Doge. And then ETH for some stability. Not all memes. They would come from the bonds, May. Got to sell your bonds to buy into crypto. That's a lot, though. I mean, total market cap now isn't even 4, right? We're under 4. Total 3.79. Here's our total. We did get over 4 here, middle of August. We got over 4. But then to double, more than double. Yeah. Like Rodrigo says, where does all that money come from? Jordan is convinced because it hits some fib line up there, right? It hits the 4.362 fib. And I'm just like, okay. I know. To double a 10-year market cap in 2 months is absurd. I agree, Con. Jordan Cameron's all over it. That's his big thing. And then he thinks in 2026, the whole market is going to completely dump. And I'm just like, wow, okay. And he does it video after video after video. He's really on this consistent thing. And I'm just like, yeah. Hit the likes, everyone. Thank you. Subscribe. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, Trump's holding a news conference. It's about this Department of War thing, changing the name of Department of Defense to Department of War, which I think is just stupid. I'm just like, don't they have more important things to do? I think that's dumb. It's just dumb. Department of Defense, it's been called that since like 1949. Fine. Department of Defense, good. Live with it. But yeah, Department of War, to change the name back to what it used to be. Why? To show strength. And I'm just like, no, we were good with DOD. We don't need DOW. Dumb. I like a lot of things Trump does. This isn't one of them. The dead cat bounce on Sol, Bebo. Pax Cat does not like that term, dead cat bounce, right? Solana's just sitting in a just kind of accumulating here. With some dips. That's all Solana's doing right now. So yeah, not big movement right now. A lot of sideways on Solana. We'll see how this. We'll see over the weekend whether Solana comes out of this box or not. I'll pull it over longer to get through the weekend into Monday, and we'll see. I think Solana is going to stay in its box. So we'll see. We'll see about that. Rejected at 22 cents, guys. Rejected. That does not bode well for the weekend for me. That is a reject right there, guys. You're going to spend $25 on the Vegas loop? Yeah, when I was in Vegas in May, I didn't go on the loop. Maybe next trip I'll look for it. But I don't need to go anywhere where that's going. So, and when I was there, I just stayed at the Venetian. That's where the Bitcoin conference was. And I walked a little bit up and down the strip, but wasn't going very far because all the action was in and around the Venetian for the whole conference. So I did go over to the Bellagio to check out just to see what was going on at the Bellagio. I like their indoor garden. That was fun to see what they had going on there. All eyes on Doge. Steak and shake. I know, right? Everyone liked the stream. Christian got more Pengu and Doge. Yes, Pengu can double. Yeah, we'll probably be looking more at the stock market than crypto market next year. I'll probably balance it a little more. Again, just my theory of 2026 being a bear market, but we'll see. Stickman, what's up? It takes about 10 to 20 minutes to see your miner. Yeah, I'm chill on that stuff. I don't have to see it right away. Litecoin pool and mining Dutch got a little more yield. I'll look at them. I think via BTC actually gives you a discount for the first month or number of weeks or something. Heard that from somebody. You just wanted to get started first. That was the easiest. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Hey, Fatsonic, how are you? You were 100% in trades, missed the morning pump, now 50-50. Yeah. I don't trade. I buy and hold. Look at Ina. Ina's been doing great. Ina has been doing great. Oh, a little pump here this afternoon. Look at that. That one pumped. Still down from Wednesday. So there was much more of a pullback on overnight Thursday morning on Ina. So it's definitely trading more volatile. But that's a nice comeback right there. So if you look at that, 72 cents, and it was up here at 73 on Wednesday. Yeah, not too different than Doge. Doge came up to about 22.2 and just hit just over 22. So not too much difference. Doge just had this reaction here that ENA didn't have. This morning's sell-off. But Doge was moving up better than ENA there overnight. But yeah, that's a big rejection. Look at that. That does not bode well for me for the weekend. That right there. You just bought Dogecoin on the MyDoge app. Nice, William. That MyDoge app is cool. He's taking questions. He just shat on Powell about rate cuts. I know, too late. Too late, Powell. Too late, Powell. I just check in on Jordan. I am nowhere near his biggest fan, but I check in on him every now and then because he's always had interesting outlooks that I just check in. That's all. The market cap of the bond market is over 100 trillion. So you think 10% of that's going to go over to crypto? I don't. I do not. Yeah, wow, it doesn't always happen that way. There are times, though, when it does. When everyone expects something to happen, it doesn't, right? But it doesn't always happen the opposite. You're indifferent to the name change? I think it's dumb. RKP, I just think it's dumb. Just you've got way more important things to be spending your time on than that. Yeah, don't mess with the Pax cat. He does not like dead cat bounces. The whole bond market rotated to Doge. Awesome. Let's do it. Doge. We have a YouTube community that we started up, Fat Sonic. You can go talk there on the YouTube community. I don't have a Discord. The Gulf of Doge. Oh. Hey. Ali is bullish on Pengu. I think it was just a TD sequential indicator that indicated a buy. He's not partial to any coin. He's only partial to whatever gets him clicks. That's what Ali cares about. Next week, it'll show if there's negativity in the market, he'll show Pengu crashing, just like he showed with Doge last week. The Doge was going to 17 cents, right? And it got lots of clicks. That's all he cares about. Are the clicks. Well, Fat Sonic, you can tell us what you're interested in and why you're interested in it. As long as it's a legitimate cryptocurrency and not some stupid token, then you can do it. If it's just some stupid new token, I will ignore it. Maramello talks about red all the time, and sorry, Maramello, nothing against you. I just skip over that. Not interested. Is Tesla a good stock? I only speak Doge. Tesla's going to be awesome. Do you hear that? They're talking about Elon having like $1 trillion pay package over the next 10 years. $1 trillion pay package for Elon over the next 10 years. That's what they think about Tesla stock. And I was saying anything under $300 is a huge buy for Tesla. And it came down to about like 305, 310, and now it's back up to like 340. But that would have been awesome. But yeah, like $1 trillion pay package for the next 10 years. If Elon can produce like all of these things, and they've listed out a ton of them. I'm not a huge, like, I don't get into all the details of all the Tesla stuff, but yeah. So yeah, watch the Tesla stock. What is it now? 350? Yeah, it's up to 350 now. Boy, if it had dipped back below 300, that would have been awesome. But X-Dog, exactly, right? X-Dog. X-Dog. What does rejection mean? That means it hits a point where people start selling. That's rejection. It gets to a line and it just says it's rejected at that line right there. That's what it means, Mike. Rejected at 22, couldn't hold the 22-cent price. So that means there's a bunch of traders taking profits right there at 22 cents. And now we're headed down. Summer of chop, exactly. It's continuing into September. Which I did talk about in my September Dogecoin price prediction video, right? Yeah, I don't know about this tax lot selling on Robinhood. Nah, I don't know how that works. If you're still trading crypto, it's still the same. Still the same. Bear market in 2026 translates into accumulation time. Yes, but not at the beginning of the year. If the price is still relatively high, again, you don't know, right, how low it's going to go, but you don't want to be buying like in the first quarter of 2026 or maybe even the second quarter, depending on how things are going. In 2022, I didn't start buying till the end of the year. And that was after the FTX crash in late November 2022. That's when I went all in. So we will be looking for those types of things. Because here's what's most likely going to happen. We're going to have this huge bull run. Maybe, right? But what happens when there's flush money, people are getting euphoric, right? Prices going up. That's when people do dumb things, particularly those that own companies in crypto. They're going to start doing dumb things. And what did we see? Celsius, Voyager, Luna, right? We saw all that going on. And when did all those crash? 2022. And then FTX, topping on the cake. Boom, 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 boom. That is the stuff to watch for in 2026. And that's all going to happen based on what the crypto market does in the next 2 to 3 months. People will be flush with money and they're going to start doing dumb things. We're mad chopping. Exactly. With a name like Mr. Pump-A-Lot. We're not having that now. Yeah, just more chop, Mesfin. We got rejected at 22 there. That's just a little omen for the weekend. It's like, nope, we're not ready to go flying yet. What's up, Orbit? NMR is the name of your thing? 100 million market cap? I don't know about a partnership with JP Morgan, though. That I don't know about. Why would JP Morgan partner with a $100 million market cap token? right? Is this it? Is this it? Numaire? Is this the one? NMR, Numaire, $13. Yeah, that's what you said, $13 range, Numaire. So this is it. Market cap, 98 million. Yep. This has been around since 2018. Got up to $75 in 2021. Traded up to about $40 in early 2024. And then December got up to about $25, now at 13. Yeah. This has been around a while. This is not just a token. It's on Binance, it's on Coinbase, Upbit, OKX, Bit. Yeah, it's on all major exchanges. NMR. Well, it'll be interesting to see what this JP Morgan thing is with this, but why is it still, after all these years, why is it still under 100 million? It can rip as a spot buy just because of its max supply. Hey, for a flyer, but just this thing's been trading for so long that it hasn't done that. But interesting to look at. Good luck with it. Elon is trying to make out enough money to wipe out the US debt. $1 trillion. Yeah, it hit about 315. That's what I remember for the Tesla stock. But if Elon can only withdraw 3,000 a day, he's in trouble. Exactly. Exactly. Mr. Musk, you have a daily limit. No, Mr. T, no live stream at the party. You're either there or you're not. You're either there or you're not. Come to Boston. If Dogecoin's $1, come to Boston. In person. Oh, you can choose what to sell, not the old ways of first in, first out. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm just doing first in, first out. In the end, does it really matter? I mean, think about it. Are you really saving any money by selling what you last bought instead of what you first bought? No, not really. Because then you're going to be paying a short-term capital gain versus a long-term cap. I'm just like, nah. Space Lover, your 32-cent average, hoping to get back up to that price. I get it. You can add a little more at a lower price and lower your average. There's always that. All that leverage at 21 is going to get wiped. People keep putting new in. Pretty decent size down here, but it's got to drop lower than it did this morning. Yes, Stickman. Department of War was the name up until 1949, and then they changed it to Defense. They should have just stuck with it. Yeah, I get it, Maramello, on red. I get it. Happy for you. Basama, how are you? Not paying taxes in the US. What's the punishment? Jail. The punishment is jail plus a fine. They get you both ways, but it's jail. And I don't really want to go to prison. Yeah, I don't think so. They don't like people who don't pay their taxes. They send you to jail. Hey, Jason. You have another spot buy? There's zero risk. Zero risk on a crypto. Wow. Zero risk. Don't hear that very often. Yes, at the Dogecoin $1 party in Boston, there will be many photos, and that photos will be all over the internet, letting you know what you're missing out on. But there's not going to be a live stream. Not an official one anyway. I'm not doing a live stream. I don't want to mess with it. I want to have fun with the people that come here. I know, Matt, exactly. This is what I was saying the other day. You had Ali, and there was a whole article about it. Ali saying 17-cent Doge, and you got these other analysts saying $1 to $1.40, and I'm like, then there's the third category that they didn't include, which are the realistic ones. And then someone says, are you saying Dogecoin isn't going to $1? And I said, realistically, no. Dogecoin is not going to $1 unless it gets that extra catalyst coming. It needs that extra catalyst. Is Elon going to do something? The wild card, right? Other than that, zero risk. It is a cryptocurrency, dude. It was up here at $39 in March of 2024, and it went all the way down to $7. 39 to 7. There is some risk there, buddy. There's some risk. No jail time for the ultra rich because they buy the big tax attorneys, right, to skirt the laws. Tyler, I hear bologna sandwiches in jail are great. Do you want to be eating that bologna, though? Do they have Grizzlies? Exactly. And I don't think I want to be eating those hot dogs either. You know, the prison kind. Don't think so. Oh. Well, we know that, Jason. Dogecoin does deserve to be $1. But right now, we're fighting 21 cents. Can't get over 22. Rejected. Totally rejected. Yeah, I don't see breaking support. I think Doge will hold 20 cent, Christian. I know what the TA guys are saying, right? With their triangles and fib lines. And I'm like, nope. Nope. I don't know what's happening with my Robinhood account. I have a deficit account. I try to deposit. Always give me the money back. I don't know what that means, Armando. I'm not sure what that means. Sorry. Thank you, Duchess. Aloha. How are you? And here we are back into food again, but fried bologna. Yeah. The whole school would smell like bologna during the morning. Yeah. Exactly. Good night, RR. Yeah, what is going on with Litecoin? And then there was another crypto account that got involved. And then Ben Cowan, because I follow Ben Cowan, he said, or Digibyte, right? And then Ben Cowan said to Digibyte, I wouldn't be talking because Digibyte is down like 90% versus Litecoin. And I'm just like, why are these cryptos like all fighting each other online? It's like wild. The crypto accounts. And Dogecoin is just do only good every day, right? Do only good every day. But yeah, I've seen a little bit of that, Jason. It is kind of funny. And the XRP army is all over it, right? I'm just like, God. Whew. Dreaming of green candles. Hey, there's no doubt, like BCH went down to 300 and is back up over 600, right? So where is it going to go from here? And what percentage gain is it going to have over the next couple of months? And I'm like, Dogecoin will outperform BCH. So, hey, Ken, how are you? Sent you an email of a cool project. Yeah, I don't get involved in projects, but thank you. You're shorting Bitcoin Cash now at 611, but you think it's the king and you're shorting it. Interesting. Hey, trading is trading though, right? Trading is trading. I will never short Dogecoin. Even if I think Dogecoin's going down, I'm not going to short it. I just refuse to do that. Oh, you deposited to buy more and they return the money. Yeah, that's... I open a Coinbase account, Armando. Just go to Coinbase. Forget Robinhood. There are some people who literally cannot use Robinhood. So go to another exchange. Go trade on Coinbase. If you use the link below that I have to open a Coinbase account, you get to spin the big Bitcoin wheel. You might get like $10 worth of free Bitcoin. Check that out. Yeah, the Litecoin account is funny though. Whoever's running that has a sense of humor. XRP guys are salty, aren't they? And I'm like, I'll debate them any day. Again, doesn't mean you can't make money on XRP. Like I've said, it's just a terrible project. It's not cryptocurrency. They're in bed with the banks, the governments, like they support CBDCs. They don't care. You're in for the dollar Doge party? I hope it happens. I hope it happens. We're doing great. We are eating food again. No, I'm kidding. Into Bitcoin Cash at 270, so you've more than doubled. Nice. Yeah. Peak is looking peaked. Still in the sixes. It's tired. It goes on little runs and sells back off. It's not doing nothing. They continue to print more tokens. Very weak project. There's no such thing as 0% risk, Fat Sonic. There's no such thing. No such thing. 0%. See you, Martin. Nick likes Coinbase. I do too. Especially when you're in high volume. When it's high volume, Coinbase can handle it. Robinhood can't. You'll get terrible prices trying to sell when there's huge volume and big green candles. Robinhood is the worst. Coinbase, no problem. What's Elon waiting for? It's just not a priority of Elon's. I don't know what's happening with X money itself, even just fiat-based X money. Grok still thinks it's going to be launching this fall, but we haven't heard anything official from X yet. The only crypto I haven't tailed you on is Pump. Yeah, I mean, it was a long shot. It's just one of those things. I mean, I don't like what Pump does. Just encouraging all of these, rug pull token projects. But on this case, it was taking the money from Trump, right? My Trump coin, taking the loss on it and trying to make some of it back. And I was like, I'm going to put it in this thing because I just want to make the money back that I lost on Trump token. And so far, so good. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, GridX, I hear that too. There's a lot of people who said December was the top for a bunch of alts. Yep, I've seen it. I don't believe it. Well, is Dogecoin going to go higher than 48 cents? That's a target. And for some other alts too, they may not reach their December high from 2024. That's true. I still think there's going to be a run from here though. And after that, we'll be talking about bear markets. There's too many good things coming up though in the next 2 months. Too many good things for crypto investing. Hi, Matt. How are you? Is it going to go even higher in the next 4-year cycle? Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? If you look at the real big charts, you'll see so far every 4-year cycle has had higher highs. Every 4-year cycle. That is going to be a challenge for Dogecoin to get to 73 cents. So, and again, I have this theory about Doge that blow off top shouldn't have happened. That was the overhype because of all the Elon stuff. And that Doge's realistic price for 2021 should have been 35 cents. That should have been the top. If you follow all of the, all the fib lines and all of that, it shouldn't have gone over 35 cents. So it essentially doubled that on that overhype Elon stuff in 2021. So if you go by that, Dogecoin has already done better this cycle by hitting 48 cents in December. And it may meet that or even go higher this fall. We'll see. That remains to be seen. And then you would think that the next 4-year cycle, it would go even higher. So that narrative hasn't changed yet. ETH finally hit its all-time high over what it hit in 2021. Not by much, but some. And of course, Bitcoin has done much better in terms of those 4-year cycles. So again, there's no reason to say that is going to change yet. But there's a lot of alts that will not hit the same high that it hit back in 2021. And a lot of it has to do with like token counts. Like Algorand won't hit its 2021 all-time high. Jasmy won't hit its 2021 all-time high because there's way more tokens in circulation now than there were in 2021. They may hit their market cap from 2021, but not their token price. So there's a lot of that to look at too. You're afraid to use another app, Armando? Coinbase is reputable. Coinbase is very secure, very safe. Just enable your two-factor authentication. Make sure you have Google Authenticator, right, as one of your authentications. So as long as you have the PIN to get in and Google Authenticator, you know, whenever you're withdrawing or moving, you get that set, you're good. Time to take the next step, Armando. If Robinhood is giving you that many problems, it's time to take the next step. In the winter, Grok will still say fall. Yeah, Grok. Knock stars, how are you? Can we just go up already? I know, right, man? I know. Can we just go up now? I just want to prove to you and all the other bears that, yes, Dogecoin can go up again, right? We get tastes of it like we did in July, and it comes back down. It's like, come on, let's go. You can buy 1,000. You can buy tens of thousands of cryptos like that, Nick. Tens of thousands. Yeah, and how long does the beta testing take for X money? I know. Grok still says that they're testing. I don't know when it started, though. Best to eat when Kriss is on the topic of food. For everyone who came in recently, I'm just drinking a Modelo here on a Friday. World Liberty Finance, Fatsonic, really? WLFI? Are you kidding? Stay away, dude. Unemployment does not pay more than jobs, David. Unemployment is not a lot of money. I have been on unemployment before. They don't give you much. You'll make more money at a minimum wage job than you will make sitting at home on unemployment. Dogecoin is not highly dependent on Elon unless you want a totally overhyped blow off top. Then Elon is good for that. But I'm a fib line guy now. I know, right, Ryan? Wasn't that a good video, though? That was a good. How else are you gonna at least make some content that shows what prices can be if they go over, right, the all-time highs? Use the fib lines. I don't believe in fib lines for this like choppy trading. Fib lines don't mean a damn thing. But for something like that, that's what I use it for. Have I heard of Best Wallet? No, I haven't, Cliffhanger. I don't know what Best Wallet is. Will Doge hit all-time high? Great question, NB. We are just going to we're going to be here through the fall. We're going to see what the catalysts are, what happens with Doge. And I'll let you know. I think Doge is going to run free again and spike hard, triggering the memes to take off and chase the profits. That's what we're waiting for, Jason. You like Kraken for trading, Weeks, Blowfin, I know, but those are all, you know, non-US, right? unless you want to use a VPN, things like that. And I'm just like, I don't do that kind of stuff. Hey, DC Bundles, how are you? Welcome. Hey, critics, you weren't in the crypto last bull run. What's the main difference this cycle and the last, if there is a difference? Was there as much market manipulation? Yes, there was. And crypto overall was more volatile, meaning a bit of bad news would tank the market much easier at a much greater percentage 4 years ago than it does today. I mean, just look at May of 2021. Even Bitcoin went down like 50%. Bitcoin's not going down 50% in 2025, but it did in 2021. And Doge went down even harder in 1 month. So yeah. Joke Smoke's in the house. How are ya? Good afternoon. Oh, and you gifted a membership too? NB. NB, you are now a member of the channel. Thank you, Joke. Appreciate it. Thank you for your generosity. NB, you are now a member of the KrissPax fam. Awesome. I told you so. I know, right? Every once in a while that slips out of my mouth, but I really don't mean it that way. But there's a few times when that does come into play, though. When someone is really so opposite of me and they do it in such a way that pisses me off, then I don't mind saying, yeah, I told you so. Yep. I feel like I can't trust my money with someone who refers to themselves as Robinhood. You know, yeah. For beginners and starters, I think Robinhood is a good place for people to learn to trade. I mean, just to buy, not really trade, but just to buy. It's a good starter app. They're trying to become more sophisticated with Legend and all this stuff. And I'm like, once you understand crypto a little more, then it's like, yeah, get off Robinhood, go to Coinbase for a real exchange, because Robinhood is not a real exchange for crypto. But it's easy for someone to get started on, but then you have to graduate from Robinhood and move on. Well, Crypto God, I think Doge would have been a little more than 2 cents without Elon. I mean, look what it's doing now without Elon. This is all being done now without Elon. We're not at 20 cents today because of Elon, right? Elon hasn't said anything about Dogecoin in a long time. And Dogecoin's trading at 20 cents, 21 cents now. And none of this has anything to do with Elon. World Liberty Finance hit $1 for like 1 second. Nobody, Chadwick, come on, dude. And where is it now? 18 cents? That tells you all you need to know about World Liberty. Buy dips, fade rips is late. Well, I never play the intro vid again. And Snoopy's always right there, hanging out, right around the corner. He's right there. May 21, ouch. I know, Jason, right? That was tough. Bitcoin is stable. Many alts are stable. Some are more volatile. But even Bitcoin can go up and down like it did today. I mean, that was a nice big drop based on the US jobs numbers, right? Boom. What was that? In 30 minutes, it went down 2.5%, 30 minutes. Boom. Little volatility there. Just a little bit. It happened the day after your birthday. Yeah. Yeah. And exactly. That's why I don't support those others. I mean, all these YouTubers that get all of these affiliates with like Blowfin and these guys, I don't support them. And I don't trade on them. I'm not going to be an affiliate with them. I get emails all the time from these other exchanges and things. And I'm like, nope. Because what happens, right? If you need support. Exactly. Like MEXC has been documented so many times where MEXC trades against you. And then when you're using leverage and you think you won, they don't give it to you. It's like all that crap goes on. And what can you do? You have no way for any quote leverage on your own to get your money back. I'm not supporting any of that stuff. Coinbase is awesome. Just spot buy, hold, buying the dips. You get the price. You can do limit orders and just all of that, just straightforward. The supply and the market cap, Anthony, are better indicators of how a token is trading. But the price in the end is what you get when you buy and sell. So Crypto God, it was a joke. Come on, it was a joke. The whole Doge thing. And it came from somebody else on X Twitter who came up with the idea of calling it Doge. And then Elon ran with it because it was funny. That's what Elon does. Yeah, I saw Chadwick is here. Hey, Magic, how are you? Thanks, Larry. Ken, you got some Pengu a little too high? I think it'll come back. See, Pengu has this international appeal, especially with the Asians. The Koreans love the cute penguin and all of that. The whole NFT narrative is probably going to come back, like all of that. There's games with Pengu now, and you can buy plushies in a Walmart store, Pengu penguins. Like that's big. That's got some staying power. So just because I haven't sold my Bitcoin, what does that have to do with its volatility? I am a small fish in the Bitcoin sea here, right? I'm the sensible one that's saying I'm not selling my Bitcoin right now. Now, ask me again in 2 months and we'll see. Ask me again. Yeah, you're not too early on Pengu. I agree, Orbit. Or too late. I mean, yes, right. I heard that, Wiley, I saw the news that ICE went in and did a raid on a Hyundai company in Georgia, and they had 400 plus illegals. I didn't know they were all Korean. Were they all Korean? That I didn't know. That's like, wow. Oh. And that's true, right? Well, they keep coming back too. They could complain all they want, but they keep coming back because they know I keep it real. Oh. Yeah, people compare prices, Anthony. I know. When token count and market cap are totally different. And I was just having fun with that, like Dogecoin versus World Liberty. That was just a fun thing to do. Remember, Dogecoin was at 21 cents and World Liberty was at 24 the other day. And I said, yeah, Dogecoin is going to totally outperform World Liberty. And now World Liberty is at 18 cents. And Doge is almost 22. It's like, yep, you could see that coming. It's just a fun thing to do. Market caps are totally different. Token counts are totally different. I get it. You bought your nephew a pudgy penguin plushie. They love them. Exactly, right? We got to get a bunch of Doges out there, right? Doge plush pillows. If Elon supported Pengu, it would go to $1. Yeah, he's not going to do that, though. Illegal or not, they were paying taxes and contributing. But were they? Were they? And they were here illegally? There could have been other United States citizens, U.S. citizens, doing those jobs instead. Just saying. The Dogecoin treasury. You know, whose treasury, though, Hasib? Right. The company wanted them instead of U.S. citizens so they could pay them less. They probably thought they'd be better workers than U.S. citizens. Maybe. That's debatable. But they weren't going to pay them. They were South Korean. Well, they have to go back. They're in this country illegally. Sorry. There are legal ways to enter this country. They should have done it the legal way. Hope the price goes up on Bonk or you're stuck. Yeah, I don't want to be stuck in Bonk either. I'll be selling by November, by the end of November probably, no matter what the price is. But I still think there's going to be a bull run this fall. So well, a lot of the early pre-sale, right? Airdrop, all of that. Those were the people who were dumping, making money. While all the retailers who started buying once it started trading on open exchanges have all lost money or are down big. That's not good. But the same thing happened with Trump token. So whoever was buying World Liberty, you were just like asking for it. Should have learned from the other one. I didn't buy World Liberty. I was laughing at it the whole time. Especially the morning it went up to $1. It was just like, it was such a joke. It was such a joke. So, yeah. And now they're like, they blacklisted probably 60 or 70 wallets now. It's like, that sounds like centralization to me. Somebody's controlling who can sell and who can't. It's like, really? Justin Sun is all caught up in it too. And you know, I don't like that guy. Gen Z wouldn't work at a Hyundai factory. Well, there is that. Yep. There is that. But still, there's a legal way to do things. So you got to incentivize them a little bit more. I don't think anybody here is taking profits at 22 cents on Doge. This guy says 24 cents. Again, that's small thinking. That's small brain thinking. The chat is glitching. Is it? Looks okay on my end. Ken bought at 17, held up to 28, back down, waiting for the fall. Just let the bull cycle play out. Let's see what happens. It's worth the risk. It's so worth the risk. The 4-year cycles have not been wrong yet. That's what I'm waiting for. Now, from what I'm seeing, your looks all right. Will. What risk? What risk? Here, let me show you, Ryan. I'll show you. Hold on. Hold on. Gotta scroll up just a little bit more. A little bit more. Where is he? Where is he? Right there. 0% risk of loss, according to Fatsonic. 0% risk. 0% risk of loss. It's like, okay, now we're talking. Oh. Yeah, that whole World Liberty Finance thing just had insider trading all over it. All over it. You could buy early, but you couldn't sell. You were locked in, blah, blah, blah. But they all knew once it went public, they were going to be selling. I know, Fatsonic. I was kidding. Good luck on your Kint. That's all I can say. Good luck. And your NMR. All I can say is good luck. At this point, I would think that the World Liberty Finance had a better chance of making money than Melania. That's what I would say. But short term, no. No. Too risky. Too risky. Let's see what Melania. I haven't looked at Melania in a while. It's probably really bad, right? Still. The Melania token. I don't even remember which one I was looking at before. It's probably Gate. Huh. Oh, yeah. 19 cents from $1.40. That is the sign of something that's never coming back. That's what that is. 19 cents on Melania token. And then we look at the Trump token and we're like, well, the only difference here is Trump had this. Trump did this, and then it had that one little bump up. And since then, it's just been bleeding out. Not much better. Again, reason I sold out of that. I tried, and I thought buying it down over here right after the initial pump and dump, and it just kept going lower and lower. When it had that little pump there up to $15, I was thinking of selling, should have, didn't. And it just kept bleeding out. Yeah, that's not a good chart. Just not what you want to be putting your money into. So what is Kint, my friend? What is Kint? Kint USD. Sugi? Kint Sugi? It's also 17 cents. Look at that. This doesn't look good either, my friend. What's going on with this? What's going on with this? That doesn't look like something you want to buy. Why would I buy this? Kint. That's not a good looking chart. It can't go lower. Oh, my friend, it can't go lower. That's what Tech Lead said about his what was the name of his token? He said it would never go to $1 because the liquidity was backed so by enough so that it would never go below $1. And then it went below $1. Remember that on the Tech Lead token? It was never going to go below $1 until it did. So yeah. Yeah, I don't like the looks of that. But hey, good luck. Can only say that. Are we cooked? No. Francisco, no. SWE is solid. I agree with that. SWE. Yeah, I'm not doing degen token, Ken. Just another meme token. Not doing it. SWE. It's battling a support here, 336. That's our support line. Still holding a support. We had one little dip below it earlier this morning. But I mean, Doge did the same thing, dipped a little bit below its support this morning. Again, hit up 536. It's high, early January. And went all the way down below $2. But yeah, this thing is going to do very well over time. It still has a lot of tokens to unlock, so just be aware of that. There's still token unlocks. Where is degen even trading? Ken. Oh, it is on Coinbase. You can trade it on Coinbase. 0.003. 0.003. Well, since its run that it had in May, it has not recovered. Not really recovered much. Yeah, we were looking at this before. Probably back here last November when it went on this crazy run. You know, something can have the greatest community in the world, but you get a chart like this, Again, another one that's basically done that. It's got one little blip there and one little blip there, one little blip there. So that doesn't look good. Sorry. You look at something like that, and then you look at pump.fun, and you're like, oh, I want to be in that. I want to be in that. Something that's actually moving. So that's my take on those. You still have your collectible Trump tokens? Yeah, I got rid of mine. You love parabolas. I know, right? Right? It's like, really? You don't want to be in parabolas. That slide just keeps going out. If there was a South African penguin, he'd get behind it. The pudgy Cape penguin. Elon. Oh, that's true, Tedward. Anything he's involved with financially is all about him and his family. Doesn't care. Doesn't care who gets hurt along the way. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash can be a good spot buy. It's overpriced for you now. I think it'll still go up to 1,000. But you think it's weak now? Looks like I'm just going to have to tough it out this bull cycle. Sell on Robinhood. Not going to switch platforms now. That's all right, Matt. I get it. See you, sunshine. There's another degen that's a Solana token. Oh, even more reason. It's got someone else's name that's just a token now. Oh. Aave has been getting crushed, Valpak. Have you been seeing Aave? Because they're involved with the Trump stuff now. And Aave's tanking. Look at that. Not good. Not good on Aave. You're in Aave? You're long Aave? Aave is not where you want to be right now. Look at this sell-off. Yeah, Isfanjar, at this point, we're just waiting for the 17th for it to actually happen. There's been enough positive news to keep the market kind of relatively flat, accumulating here, as opposed to dropping lower, with hopes that interest rates will be cut. But we're still, a week and a half away from that actually happening. So will Doge revisit 20 cents? It might on a dip. We were looking at that. We could come back down to that level right there. That'd be 21. Or do we go to 20.5 where we were there on Monday? But at this point, that would be a big dip. That'd be a huge dip on how it's trading now. We're seeing higher lows that are printing higher lows. So that's positive. But weakness on a Friday afternoon going into the weekend. We didn't clear 22. So Looks like we're just going to be choppy over the weekend. So, all right, that's what we got for today, guys. Hey, so that's what I think is happening the weekend. I'll be live again on Saturday afternoon. Make sure you're subscribed. You got your notifications on. Always hit the like button. You can always add some comments after the live stream is over, because it becomes a video on my channel. If there's something else you wanted to get off your chest, say, you can do it in a comment on this live stream that becomes a video as soon as it's over. So you can do that. I hope everyone has a great Friday night, and I'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.